Welcome back! Thank you for coming, thank you for being here. Well, internet, you know what I mean. Today we're gonna just do a simple comparison. Age-old question, right? Analog versus digital. My last video was entirely about plugins and how they can completely change your entire sound. Examples by Empirical Labs, the Stressor, the SSL stuff, the Wolf compressor stuff. All of that is great, and those are all tools, right? But recently, put some hardware in my studio that has dramatically changed my sound. And what the hardware is a pair of API 550A EQs. Now, why, right? Why hardware? Well, immediacy. For me, a lot of it is like, okay, record something, play, let's do a quick listen back and go, it could use a little this, it could use a little bit of that. And in my opinion, my toms have been struggling. I love the way they sound, and I'm a fan of the way they sound, but I wanted to take it up that one level. And so, that one level for me, for a long time, has been Universal Audio API version of it. So, it's their emulation of a API 550A, and it's been great, and it records directly as I'm recording. Even still, though it sounded better, sometimes I would notice that the low end would not be as smooth, or the top end would be a little harsh, or I couldn't add enough top end or enough mid-range. Maybe it's true. Maybe the software and the hardware do have some serious differences in our perception of how we hear things. But ultimately, let's just do a freaking comparison. I want to see if you can hear the difference. I know I can. Enough me talking, like always. Why don't we just play the same groove, one going through the UA version of the API 55A, and one going through a real hardware unit. It's not about winning, it's not about losing, it's about being able to hear the differences or not. Maybe we'll all get surprised. Anyways, let's get to it. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot. Like button, subscribe. You know the deal. Let's get to it. Let's listen to this stuff. Okay, so what we have here is just my standard EQ settings for my tom. So my rack is on the left and my floor tom is on the right. This is kind of where I start. This is my starting ground. And we're going to copy these settings over software, and we're just going to A/B them. And I won't tell you which one's which. You'll have to guess. Here is the exact same settings copied from the hardware to the software. There we have it. Who wins, right? I think it's pretty obvious, but you know, I'll tell you what was up. The first one was our bass line, the drums just going in direct through the preamp into my interface, recorded into Pro Tools. They sound good. They sound like toms, right? Like, oh yeah, we can work with this. That's something a producer would say, like, oh, these sound purple. The second one is the Universal Audio emulation of it. So the API 55A plugin, same settings, right, as the hardware version. The third one, obviously, is the hardware version. I don't know about you, but for me, the second I activated the hardware version, I recorded, I listened back, and I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. They're more blunt, they're more smacky, attacky. They just sound so much better, like ridiculously better. And the funny thing is the EQ I showed you is the same EQ I used over this past week, and I used like 4 different drum sets, different types of woods, different types of companies, different ages of drum sets, left the same EQ, and it made those drums, tuned well, sound so much better with the hardware version. I say this a lot, but I'm stoked to have that. and I'm stoked to have it here. Let me know what you think. Which one wins? You tell me. Leave a comment, you know, typey. Do you have any plug-in versions of a hardware unit in your studio? If you do, I really want to hear from you, and I want to hear why sometimes you gravitate towards a hardware unit instead of the software, and vice versa, right? Sometimes you may just go to the software if it's a speed thing, or you're not home, or whatever it might be. Thank you guys for being here. See you on the next one.